G'day guys and girls, welcome to Aussie Outdoor Reviews, a new channel for YouTube. Sole purpose to give you guys 100% unbiased and honest reviews on Australian fishing, camping, fall driving gear, anything in between. The channel really was born from myself buying camping stuff for personal use and trying to look for reviews and whatnot on YouTube and on the internet and not being able to find anything really specific, you know. So here we go, it's the first video. So be gentle. And what we're going to be reviewing today, I've had this for probably about 2 years now. It's the Ozpig. There's nothing quite like it on the market today. The only way you can get yourself one of these is of course by buying yourself an Ozpig or by making your own. I did look into making my own, but as I didn't have any welding gear or anything like that, I ended up choosing the Ozpig route. And okay, so what I'll do now, this is the bone stock Ozpig with no accessories. I've got all the accessories and I'll be doing a review on those in another video coming up. Okay guys, so what I'll do, I'll be using my gloves here just so I don't get covered in crap when I pull this out and show you what we've got. Okay, it comes in a sturdy carry bag, which I've never used except for carting my firewood in when I'm out camping. Although it is pretty good, but once you start getting all the accessories for the Ozpig, it doesn't all fit in the bag, so it's kind of redundant. Alright, first up you get a warming plate. As you can see, mine's a bit dirty, but you can't actually cook on this, but it's decent enough that you can bake some bread and you can put it on the side of the Ozpig. Okay, you have a barbecue plate, solid plate here. This gets quite a lot of use out camping. It's great for if you're going to have a slow burn for heat from the Ozpig. Okay, so let's get this bag up the way. Here you go, you can see, open the door and everything fits nicely inside. You have 4 30cm screw-in steel legs and 3 of these exhaust pieces, or flue I should say, really. 3 of these. You have a spark catcher, and you're also in here you have a grate that you can set in there and set your fire on top of. I find this pretty good. Every time I use it, I flip it around, it gets hot. I don't know if you can see the bow in the video, but I turn it so the bow's around the other way and it just melts back down. So first of all, we'll put the legs on. And I believe the fact that the door is closed, you have the 4 30cm legs and you have this spark arrestor. It's approved for use in national parks and state forests around Australia. So it's pretty handy. You can go and use it in places where you can't normally have a campfire. So, alright, let's get started. So it's pretty easy to set up, you know. Normally when I put it in the back of the troopy, I don't take the legs off, I just leave the legs on, and there's enough usable space in the back of your four-wheel drive, you know. You can stack things underneath here. It's just a lot easier than having a mess with screwing these on and off. Also, you can see there's a bit of paint spray on these. It's not like that from the factory. I've had this Ozpig for a year and a half, 2 years now, and I just gave it a respray the other day to get rid of some rust. So flue on. When you put the flue on, you want to make sure that you get the best seal possible from this flared end over. Otherwise, if you're burning wood that's slightly green, you get a lot of sap run down. It runs down, sticks on the back of the Ozpig, and things get rusted pretty quickly. Okay, don't forget the spark arrest. Okay guys, one thing I did forget, it does come with one of these pot lifters, which is pretty handy. Most of your campfire camp ovens, they come with one of these and a pair of gloves if you buy the upmarket version, which I think is a pretty good deal. The gloves I've had will last me for a while, and of course these, well, they're indestructible really. So what I'll do now, that's it all set up as it comes from the factory, and I'll get it lit for you. Alright guys, today we'll be using one of these homemade fire starters, which is with a bit of dry lint, some old candles and egg carton. So I'll make a video on these. They're really easy to make, takes about 10 minutes and just uses, you know, recyclable stuff, so it's always good, and they work in a wet as well. I've never had a drama with using these. When you're lighting the Ozpig, you always want to start with your top open here. Okay, you don't want to have your plate over the top, just to get a bit more airflow through. Once it gets going though, you can slam that shut, and away she goes. Okay guys, so you can use the hot plate here to throttle the Ozpig if you need to give her a bit more airflow. It's quite a good way to get it going without having too much smoke and too many crazy flames flying out the top, especially if you're in a caravan park or somewhere like that where you've got neighbours that you've got to watch out for. So my pros and cons with the Ozpig, what do I like about this? I like the simplicity of it. You can just throw it in the back of the truck and go camping. It's best if you take all your wood with you, of course, as you always should, but it's simple, it works, it never lets me down. You can have a fire in the rain. I paid around $330 and I found that to be quite expensive for what it was for this, and the more I used it, the more I realised that you need to buy the attachments. You don't need to, of course, but it opens up so many more possibilities of use. So the accessories that I've got for the Ozpig, I've got a spit, so a rotisserie spit, so I can have a roast chook, roast lamb, roast beef, on the rotisserie. It works really well. With the rotisserie, if you're going to be using a fire, you need to buy a separate attachment called a diffuser, which just sits over here instead of the hot plate. And really, if you're going to be using open flame to cook your roast, you need to buy the diffuser. Otherwise, you're just cooking yourself a meal of charcoal. What else have I bought? I bought an offset chimney. It cuts the flue back at a 45 and gives you another 2 standards. So in total you get another 3 sections in length, so you're virtually doubling your chimney or your flue. The offset's good for if you're camping underneath a gazebo or an awning. You can put your awning out and you don't have to worry about your Ozpig chimney burning your awning. You can also get it in a little bit off the rain. I've also bought a grill that goes on instead of this, so you take off the hot plate. You can use it as another warming plate. If you're going to do any sort of barbecue and you want that flame grilled flavour, it does lamb cutlets, beautiful. Of course you've got to let it die down a little bit, but you know, that's another great addition. So what do I like about the Ozpig? I like the fact that you can contain it, your fire. Once it's going, it puts out quite a lot of heat, especially out in front. It's versatile. You can take it camping and it's multi-purpose. You can use it for cooking, you can use it for warmth, and you can use it for purifying water if you need to. You need to boil up some water. Here in Western Australia, a lot of campsites you go to will have a rainwater catchment, and you can take the rainwater there from the tank, but of course you've got to boil it to make sure that it's safe, because you never know what's really been going on in those tanks. But it's a great bit of kit. I always take it camping, even in summer I'll take it. It's probably one of the single best purchases that I've made. What don't I like about it? Well, I don't like the door. You can't really use this product with the door closed and latched like you should be able to. I like to advertise it. It's got a small hole here. There's new doors out. They came out with a door that was full of holes. Now there's a door that kind of looks like a radiation sign with mesh in it, and you can swivel it open and close more for the airflow. If you're going to be using the Ozpig until you go to bed, the door's going to be open. What else don't I like about it? The price. The price was pretty hard to swallow. 330 odd Aussie dollars at the time. It's an expensive bit of kit, and I didn't particularly like the fact that when I got it home and I started using it, that I needed to buy a lot of the accessories, because the accessories aren't cheap either. But then again, if you forget about the price, it's brilliant. Of course, guys, this is something that you don't just have to use while you're camping. In fact, I've got this set up 100% of the time under the patio. We cook on it quite often. We cook barbecue, we do some camp oven meals. You can do baking on the warming plate with some coals on the top. You don't always have to use wood, okay, because it does smoke quite a bit until it gets going. Of course, it is a fire, but you can use heat beads, you can use charcoal. If you are going to be using heat beads or charcoal, you are going to need to buy yourself the heat bead basket that sits in the top. It's a steel basket, and it sits in here, and then you can put the char griller over the top, or the rotisserie. really the rotisserie kit should come with the heat bead basket, because it's the best way of cooking your roast. It's really good. Another accessory that I bought with it was the wok. The wok's actually great. Wooden handled, spun stainless steel, and again, it fits in here, and it doesn't take long at all to do up a beautiful stir fry. So you can, when you go camping, you can pre-make all your meals and put them in your Ziploc bags or however you guys want to do it, and then when it's ready to go, you can just throw them on. They work a treat. The wok's great. We use it in the kitchen at home as well. It's quite good quality. You could probably use any wok. I chose the Ozpig wok because it's designed to fit in here, and it does, and it works well. It's a good way of boiling water too if you need to boil your water quickly, as it fits in this recess quite a bit well. Okay, so here she is with the door shut. You can see she's smoking a lot now. You could leave it like that and it'll burn for quite a while, especially if you load it up with some good hardwood, some jarrah. She'll burn quite nicely all night. When we go camping, I normally cut my wood specifically to size before I go away, so it's a bit of an extra chore that it gives you. But again, you know, anything really this long, anything that you can fit in. Of course, you can load it up from the top and let it burn down before you swing the top shut. That's another way. There's all sorts of techniques that you can use, but that's something else to consider, is that you can't just go down to the servo and buy a bag of 15 kilo jarrah. You've got to cut it to size, chop it to size. But I think the positives definitely outweigh the negatives, and I highly recommend the Ozpig for anyone that's thinking about it. Yes, it's expensive. There's no getting past that fact. But is it worth the money? Definitely. Definitely worth the money. Thanks for watching, guys.